Well, an organization that's been around for a long time, touching a lot of lives, is Athletes in Action. And of course, now here comes the Olympics, and they're going to be active there as well. And we are delighted to have with us right now Terry Bortz. She's the Athletes in Action Global Media Director, and she's also the director of their Super Bowl breakfast. And Terry, what a delight to have you. Where are you? Where are you this morning?
Thank you so much for having me.
Where are you?
I'm in Cincinnati, Ohio.
Cincinnati, Ohio. Okay, well, nice to have you with us. Well, first of all, tell us, how's Athletes in Action going to be involved with the Olympics this week?
Okay, we have a number of ways we're being involved. We have an Olympic project that we do at every Summer and Winter Olympics. And this year we have 170 participants from around the world, including 50 of our AIA international leaders. They'll be getting leadership training in the morning, and then in the afternoon, we'll be going out and presenting the Olympic athletes with a free gift of our Olympic film called Struggle and Triumph. And on Struggle and Triumph, and this is an example of one, all 36 languages that this film has been translated into is on one DVD. So you can hand it to almost anybody in the world and know that they will find a language they can understand. So part of the purpose of us giving this gift to the Olympians is to try to engage with them so that we can connect them with our staff in their country, so that they can do follow-up when the athlete returns home from the Olympics.
Oh, that's wonderful. Absolutely wonderful. Well, tell us about Struggle and Triumph. How'd that come about?
Yeah, Struggle and Triumph was originally produced for the 2008 Olympics in Beijing. And we have a number of current and former Olympians on the film. And it's basic. That was our second major film. We also did one in 2006 for the World Cup, and then again in 2010. So every other year we do a major film for those two major events. And basically what we do is we interview some of the top athletes who are the most popular, but also the ones with the best stories. And so, for example, on Struggle and Triumph, we have a marathon runner from Rwanda who you probably never heard of, but his story is absolutely amazing. And he tells about how when he was 14 years old, he witnessed the killing of his entire family during the genocide there. He hid in the bushes and just watched his entire family be killed. And then he was forced into the army and had to fight. And throughout all of that, he still became an Olympic runner. I mean, I don't even know how that happens, but wow. His story of what he went through and his faith in God is just amazing.
Well, let's just take that one story just for a second here. How did he see God in the midst of such incredible tragedy?
Well, he had been raised in a Christian family, and when he witnessed the killing of his family, he was pretty angry, as you might guess, and he really walked away from God for a number of years. And then he just remembered what his dad would say about prayer, and he realized that if he didn't turn back to God, he might never see his family again. And he wanted to see his family again, and so he slowly started coming back to the faith that his parents had instilled in him.
Wow. There's a couple other that you highlight. Julian Bowling?
Julian Bowling is a swimmer from Sri Lanka. He competed in 3 different Olympics. And after the tsunami hit Sri Lanka, he discovered that all the kids were afraid of swimming in the sea, which was, of course, when you live on an island like that, that's part of your life. Mm-hmm. And he runs a swimming academy to coach future Olympians. And he decided that he really wanted the kids to learn to love the sea again. So he came up with this idea of mobile pools. And they would go to the villages, they would dig a hole in the ground, put the mobile pool in the hole, teach the kids how to swim, and each day of the camp, they would move the pool closer and closer to the ocean until finally on the last day they were swimming in the ocean again.
Wow, isn't that wonderful? Now, in these stories that you share there in Struggle and Triumph, of course, there's a lot of issues going on, but you're trying to connect faith with the athletes for those athletes who have no faith, and how's that working?
Absolutely, and it's not just for athletes, it's for sports fans all around the world. We have, for example, we have Allison Felix, who is a U.S. track and field athlete who won medals in 2 different Olympics and is expected to win the gold in London. And she just talks so strongly about her faith and how she performs for God's glory and not her own. And that's really the message that we want to get across, is that you can be the top athlete in the world, but if you don't have Christ, you're still really empty.
You know, one of the things that comes from all of this, and I'm sure you hear this quite often, people will say it's the hard times that made them who they are more than the victories, and that's the story that they really want to convey.
That's so true. And that's why the name of our film is Struggle and Triumph. And because for each athlete in the film, we talk about the struggles that they've been through, either in their personal life or in their sports career, and then the triumphs and how God has used both of them to build their faith.
Now, are you tracking any athletes in particular during the Olympics this time?
Well, definitely Allison, because she's in our film and we have a great relationship with her. There's a number of athletes. I right offhand, I don't have all their names, but there's actually a large number of Christian athletes, and we have a crew going over there who will be attempting to film them and film their testimonies while we're there, because we have another website in addition to struggleandtriumph.com. We have another website called beyondtheultimate.com, and that features testimonies of athletes in every sport. And it features Olympic athletes right now because the Olympics are, going on. But we're going to try to get as many faith stories on film as we possibly can while we're over there.
So where can somebody see these films? Can they just go to the website and see them, or how can they get a hold of them?
Beyondtheultimate.com. We'll be uploading them, even from London, we'll be uploading them.
Logistically, Terry, how hard is it for you and your organization to get in there and actually be with the athletes?
Well, we actually have a number of our staff who have been certified as the official chaplains in the Olympic Village. And so they will actually be staffing what they call the spiritual center. And a lot of athletes come in there because of the pressure that they feel, which you can imagine. You've got over 10,000 athletes competing in the Olympics and only 300 gold medals being awarded. That's a lot of disappointed athletes. Right. And so they come in because of the disappointment, because of the pressure they feel. And sometimes they come in because they've won and they still feel empty. And so we have a lot of contact with the athletes inside the village. We also have contact outside the village because when they're not competing or practicing, they're trying to see all the sights around town. And so that's where we go to try to meet up with them.
Oh, that's wonderful. Give us an update on Athletes in Action. Of course, you've been with the organization over 21 years, and it's been around for a long time. How's it going? Give us a little bit of a ministry update.
It's going great. It's really growing. We started in 1966. We're on over 100 college campuses in the U.S. and in 90 countries around the world. We work mainly with college and professional athletes and just helping them to grow spiritually and in their sport. So we have all kinds of ways that we do that, including our media products. We have follow-up Bible studies. If you go to struggleandtriumph.com, you'll see the bios of the athletes there. You'll see the follow-up Bible study. So we are trying to serve them in every way that we can think of, even doing these outreaches like the Super Bowl breakfast that we do in the U.S. We're doing a similar event in London called the Legacy Breakfast, where we have permission to use Eric Little's name on an award that we're going to give away. And two of his daughters are going to be at the breakfast. They're in their 70s. They're going to be at the breakfast to help us present that award. And the winners are Debbie Flood, who's an Olympic rower from Britain, and Brian Clay, who's a U.S. decathlete from the U.S.
So what are the qualifications to win that award?
Basically, it's character, integrity, and leadership in their sport and in their community. And so, for example, both of those athletes have started foundations to help underprivileged youth. And so they are not only leaders in their sport, they are leaders off the court or off the field. And that's what we're looking for. We're not just looking for the best athletes. We're looking for the athletes who really have character, integrity, and their faith really has made a difference in their lives.
How are these testimonies shared, like within the Olympic Village? How do these athletes, are they allowed to share their testimony while they're mingling with people from all over the world?
Oh, the athletes can do whatever they want. There's a few more restrictions on us. We have to wait until an athlete asks us a question or, asks for a Bible or asks to meet with someone. But we already have so many relationships, and we've been doing this for so long that we go into each Olympics with relationships already established. And so the athletes who already know us will invite their friends to come to chapels, to come to Sunday service. Wow. And so we get to meet a lot of people through the athletes.
Now, do you bring in some keynote speakers, or do you just among your staff and your chaplains there?
Yeah, at the Legacy Breakfast on August 10th, we will have speakers at that one. But really, in the chapels, it's either the athletes sharing with other athletes, or it's our staff that are trained as chaplains sharing with the athletes.
So you're able to handle the language barriers, are okay?
Oh yeah, you always have translators available.
That's wonderful. Well, Terry, one more time, where can they watch these videos and be able to get a copy, maybe, of Struggle and Triumph?
Right. Well, the first place I would suggest they go is struggleandtriumph.com. There are 33 languages of that film streaming right now on that website. It's the first time the IOC has ever allowed us to put the Olympic footage online. So
wow.
It was a huge blessing.
Wow.
And all the information is there in terms of purchasing the actual DVD, downloading the follow-up Bible study. All that's on that website. The second website I would encourage them to go to is beyondtheultimate.com, and that will feature athletes in all kinds of sports from all over the world, and their faith stories will be there. And then we also encourage them to come to our website, which is athletesinaction.org, and there's a lot of information about our ministry there.
Well, this is absolutely wonderful. Again, struggleandtriumph.com and beyondtheultimate.com. Check that out. Or, of course, be sure to go to athletesinaction.org and be supportive there. Terry, before I let you go, what kind of follow-up do you have with athletes after the Olympics is done and everybody goes home?
Right. Well, our main goal is to connect them with our staff in their country. And that's so if we can get their contact information, then we will immediately pass that on to our leaders in their particular country. And as soon as they get back, they will invite them to meet with them one-on-one, to be part of a small group Bible study. And so that's really the main way, is to connect them with someone in their country that they can meet with.
Well, it's wonderful. Terry, thank you so much. And I know you guys are excited. You're only a couple of days away, and here you go. And should be great. We're praying for safety for the entire Olympics, and God use you mightily, you and your team. I just think this is absolutely wonderful. Thanks for being with us today.
Thank you.
See you later. All right, Terry Bortz with us today. Again, athletesinaction.org, or check it out, and struggleandtriumph.com, and take a look at the film and share it with your friends. We'll see you tomorrow on Focus Today.